Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott, and today I want to discuss momentum, a very important topic when you're trying to create your own reality. Now, before we do that, I just ask if you could like this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and leave a comment. All of this stuff is important. It may help somebody out there see this video that needs to see this video. So I wanted to talk about momentum. It's an important subject that I don't hear discussed very often when we discuss the law of attraction, reality transurfing, or Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard addressed this in his lecture on how to meditate, saying a lot of times people reach a point where they're desperate to change their current situation. Perhaps they're about to lose their house. And that is why he recommends a daily practice of meditation. I get a lot of people that contact me and they're in desperate situations. For instance, maybe they have a court case and they've already been found guilty and they are about to be sentenced. And so there's something called momentum. The best way I want you to imagine or think about this, imagine if you had jumped off of a very tall building and then on the way down, you decide that you don't want to hit the ground below. And maybe you give me a call on the way down with your phone and say, Brian, what can I do? How can I avoid hitting the ground? Well, it's going to be very difficult for me to help you in that situation because there's momentum. Imagine that you're in San Francisco and you're going down the hill at full speed and without a break. One of those tall, beautiful hills in lovely San Francisco. And you call me on the way and say, hey, Brian, I need your help. I'm in a car and it's going fast and I don't know how to stop. Well, there's momentum. And so we can transfer this to a lot of parts of life. And so what I'm saying is you need to create your own momentum. And that is why a daily practice is very important. A lot of people just go about their day letting reality create itself, letting somebody else drive the bus. And then something terrible happens, or something is on the horizon almost any day now. And then they become desperate and they start to look at these tools, and it may be a little bit too late. Now, I know because I've been there. I've been in the situation where I'm struggling. I got to pay my credit cards, and I start to figure out what can I do to manifest something. Miracles are possible, but miracles are more likely when there is momentum. And so what you want to do is create your own momentum. As discussed in Tufti the Priestess, and as physicists will tell you, right now in this moment, as you're listening to my voice, reality has already happened. In this moment, your reality that you're creating, you're just witnessing a reality that you've already created. We have millions of frames per second, but our eyes and our ears and our senses are detecting reality that has already occurred. So in this moment, you're not going to have a magical thing that you're going to change. So you want to create a reality that has momentum. Right now, you have a lot of stuff, as Abraham would say, in your vortex that you have created that has pushed you to the point that you're at now. I don't want you to despair and to tell you that it's impossible, that you can't fix it. You can fix it, but you need to create your own momentum. When I started to see a change, it was when I started to create a daily practice, and I started to do things on a regular basis. And it's just like riding that bike, and you start to pedal the bike, and as you pedal, you gain speed, and you go faster and faster and faster. So the techniques that we've discussed, for instance, specifically with Neville Goddard, really help you with this momentum. I have a meditation, a time travel meditation, and I've learned a lot from creating that meditation about what other people go through and trying to revise their past. One of the interesting things that Neville recommends is to revise your day every day. And so that pulls you back, and it's like a course correction for your momentum. Say you have something bad happen the previous day, you go in and imagine that event happening differently. The reason this works, and I want you to imagine it, is that right now there's a whole array in front of you from all angles of different realities in the space of variations that are available to you right now. There's a version of you that works at McDonald's. There's a version of you that can be a boxer. And maybe you want to be the boxer, right? And if you're working at McDonald's right now and your goal is to be a boxer, well, you start to create meditation. You imagine yourself being a boxer. You start going to the gym. You start getting coaching. You start lifting weights. You start getting a coaching technique for boxing. And you go through all of the different things that you need to do to become a good boxer. And every single day, with every single lift of the weights, you get better and closer to that life track where you are the boxer. And if you make mistakes along the way, you course correct by revising the previous day. Maybe something happened that kind of pushed you away from your path, and you just pull yourself back on. By tuning in with revision, what you're doing is you're keeping a sense and your foot into the life track that you want to stay in. So if something comes along the way, a hiccup or something, you can revise and go right back to that life track. But what is your daily habits? That's what I'm saying. Those daily habits create a momentum, a speed, and a force that causes you to move faster towards whatever goal it is that you want to achieve. So, for me, I started to see big results when I declared that I was going to meditate on a daily basis, that I was in the moment on a daily basis going to imagine the dream and wishes fulfilled. So I wake up in the morning, and before I wake up, I imagine my day in the way I want it to be. I get up, I do energy exercises as I realized I'm like a battery. And my energy I want to accumulate over time. And after my energy exercises and breath exercises, I'll do a meditation. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's 2 hours. I might do another meditation later in the day to keep myself on track or to remind myself of the life track that I'm moving towards. I'll do a sleep meditation as I go to sleep at night. And by doing this on a regular basis, by creating a regular habit of what I'm doing and going through the day, repeating affirmations and creating reminders of the path that I'm on, it has propelled me with momentum. And so what I'm saying is, what you're experiencing now has already been created. Start creating your future and start creating momentum. These exercises can work, and I've seen instantaneous manifestations that are crazy. But a lot of times when I go back and look at it, they are a result of momentum that was created from beforehand. And so you need to find your definite chief aim, what it is that you want to do. You want to find your definite chief feeling, what it is that you want to feel, and then start repeatedly moving towards that on a regular basis to create your momentum. There's going to be momentum. And if you are on that car that's going down the hill, just let it crash. You'll be okay. Once it's crashed, start creating your own momentum towards what it is that you want to do. Sometimes the fear of what's happening at the end when the momentum's been created can exacerbate whatever problem that you have now and make things worse. So you have to learn, as we do with this process, of how to dissociate yourself from your present reality, whatever the momentum has taken you on, and then start creating your own momentum. And oftentimes in doing so, you can slow down the momentum that you had created, and you can start to create new and wonderful things in your future. Imagine, as Vadim Zeland discusses with the Alternatives Flow, that you're on a river and you're you're going with the flow, and you start creating your attention towards what it is that you want to do, and you need to guide the boat, because there's many different channels and tracks that the boat can move along, and so you simply need to guide the boat. And if you make a mistake, if you do it quickly enough, you can go back and get back on track, on the track that you want to move towards. So start to think about momentum. Nobody is telling you that reality is created in a solid state. It's moving. We live in a vast pool of particles that are moving and constantly flowing, and we are a part of it. So you have to understand the movement of reality. Electrons and quantum particles are coming in and out of existence on a regular basis, and we're moving along. And so as we do this, we create our own movement when we on a regular basis create our reality and we start to move towards it. This is my own observation. I'm not going to tell you that something's impossible. So if you were to call me and you're going down and you've jumped off the building and halfway down you want help, I'm not going to tell you you're not going to crash. But you need to be aware of it in the first place, because I do believe anything's possible. But it's so much easier and so much better if you understand that you need to find your flow and create your momentum on the track that you want to move towards. And I believe that this is a part of your daily habits and rituals. And so what I try to do is I collect daily habits and rituals. When I hear about Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, I want to find out what they do every day, what time they wake up in the morning, what are their habits that got them the momentum that created the situation that they're in now. What does Jeff Bezos do every day? Find the most successful person that has achieved the goal that you want to achieve, and then how did they create the momentum? Oftentimes, it was not some magical miracle that led them there. It was over a set number of daily exercises. And they may have been moving towards a definite chief aim, but along the way, they created momentum for themselves by their actions on a daily basis. It doesn't necessarily have to be through meditation, but boy, oh boy, it adds fuel to the fire, to the boat that you're on, that you're moving towards. So what I'm saying is I should believe these comments for this particular episode can be a collection of habits and rituals that have worked for you. So let's share them in the comments. What is your morning routine? What's your daily routine? What are the things that worked for you, that created the momentum to put you into the place that you're at now? Let's use these comments as a place for us to evaluate what works and what doesn't. But I will tell you, if you ignore your future and you do not care about your reality, reality will do the same and reflect back to you a reality that you would not care about. So start to be acknowledged that you create reality. You are God, and you have a choice of what future that you have, as long as you start the boat in the direction that you want and create the momentum that you need towards the point that you're moving towards. So I would love to get your opinion on this. What do you do to create momentum on a daily basis for creating reality? Please put notes in the comments. And for all episodes of The Reality Revolution, you can go to therealityrevolution.com. And thank you so much, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.